Are you a talented footballer with the potential to go all of the way, but you've never been spotted or had a trial? Well, all you need to do is check out a brand new innovative business that I've started with my partners called Scout's Eyes. It gives you a chance to get spotted by our network of scouts to try and get you a trial at a professional club. Scout's Eyes places you in front of a professional scout who will assess your talent. You simply need to visit our website right now and upload your clips as directed. Our scouts will then view them and give you a full assessment. If you meet a certain criteria, your details will be sent to scouts at professional football clubs for them to come and see you play. It's as simple as that. So visit scoutseyes.com right now and send in your clips, and a scout could be coming to watch you play at your next game. AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that will be linked with a transfer move to Arsenal. Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that will be linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. As I always say every day, if you're a budding footballer out there and you want to jump onto Scout's Eyes, use the code SE50. You're getting a 50% discount off of your videos that you upload to the site by using that code today. As I said, I was speaking to the scouts. 2 players this week have been spotted and been recommended for trials at clubs. So jump onto it if you have the talent, right? That's what it's all about here. It is spotting talent. And we want to see some of that coming in at Arsenal. And just before I get into the transfers, what a game last night that was. Spain 5, France 4. At one time, Spain went out 5-1. That Yamal kid is absolutely unbelievable. You know, when you get a kid and he comes through your academy, it hasn't cost you a penny, and he's doing those numbers and doing what he's doing for club and country. It's absolutely unbelievable. Also a goal for Mikel Merino. So that was really good to see. This guy, Merino, I'll tell you, he's going to prove to be a very good signing at Arsenal. Finished off the season well for Arsenal and is still doing very, very well for his country. But yeah, what a game that was. And that sets up the final, Portugal versus Spain. That's going to be really, really interesting in the Nations League. But let's get into the transfers. The big one that everybody seemed to be on last night was Rodrygo of Real Madrid. It was being reported everywhere. Sky Sports yesterday claiming that Arsenal very, very interested in signing Rodrygo, that the new sporting director, Andrea Berta, is very keen on a deal. There was also, and I've got it here, this site, Hand of Arsenal, and they reported that, and this is what they put, exclusive, and they were one of the first to go with it. They said that Arsenal have made Rodrygo their number 1 winger target this summer. We can exclusively reveal that the recruitment team at Arsenal are in unanimous agreement that Rodrygo is a player who can make a difference in the hunt for major silverware. Several key figures at Arsenal have spoken to Rodrygo, including first-team players, about life at Arsenal in North London. Other Premier League clubs are involved and have set out their strategy to lure him, but I'm told that Arsenal will present a strong financial offer if the player is placed on the market. Now, currently as it stands, Rodrygo is set to have a meeting with the new manager, Xabi Alonso, to discuss his future. Xabi Alonso has said that, Rodrygo is part of his plans, but we know that Rodrygo is not starting at the moment, and competition for places in that front line at Real Madrid, really, really difficult. Of course, you've got Kylian Mbappe in there now, very, very difficult to dislodge him. Vinicius Jr., Bellingham, they've really got a lot of attacking options. Arda, Gula, there is a possibility that he could leave this summer. It would be around about £86 million to get a deal done, which would be very expensive. But Arsenal do have money to spend. They didn't spend no money in January. They got it. Could they make a move for Rodrygo? That would be an exciting signing if they could get that done. one to definitely keep an eye on. It's all going to depend on whether Real Madrid are going to be willing to sell him or not. But Rodrygo, said to be the number one left-wing target for Arsenal this summer. Let's see if they're going to be able to pull it off. Another player being considered by Arsenal is Morgan Rogers of Aston Villa. Very, very talented player. And when I talk about recruitment, as I was right at the start of the show, remember Aston Villa, they bought him 18 months ago from Middlesbrough for only £15 million. Again, dispelling this thing that you can't buy players from the Championship. Yet another player who came from the Championship and has really, really stepped up. One of Villa's best players last year. I remember when Arsenal played Aston Villa right at the start of the season at Villa Park. He ran the show. I mean, he was picking the ball up from midfield and driving through Arsenal like a hot knife through butter. Really good player. He's also been playing out on that left wing as well. He's versatile, can play left wing, right wing, attacking midfielder. Arsenal considering him as an option for up front, but he would be a very, very expensive deal. Villa will not want to sell him. 14 goals and 15 assists last season. However, remember, Villa, delicate financial position for them, and they didn't make the Champions League. That could be significant. Maybe they consider selling him. One to keep an eye on this summer, Morgan Rogers. Another player that Arsenal are considering in that left-wing position is Igor Paixão of Feyenoord. Now, the Times newspaper, they claim that he's another option for Arsenal in that left-wing position if they don't get their number one target. 18 goals and 19 assists last season for Feyenoord. Had a really, really good season. Still only 24, Brazilian, being considered by Arsenal. Again, it's going to be one to watch throughout the summer to see if Arsenal do make a move for him. Another one of the options, you know what I mean? Because as you can imagine, with Arsenal on the hunt for a left winger, they're being linked to literally everyone going. But this one's another one that they may consider, and that's Ademola Lookman. Lookman was considered a bit of a journeyman player, played for various different clubs in the Premier League, including Everton, Fulham. It didn't work out for him. Went to Atalanta over there in Serie A, and he's been brilliant over there. Famously scored that hat-trick in the Europa League final when Atalanta won. And last year, despite falling out with the manager, Gasperini, still had a really good season, 20 goals in all competitions. He's more of a sort of second striker than a left winger. I mean, he sort of operates on the left wing. Very similar to, if I say, style of play to like a Trossard, would be available for around about £50 million, and is a player that Arsenal are considering. The rumours are is that they've already held talks with his agent to find out about, terms, how much it would cost, would he be willing to come, is what they're doing, and they're keeping the options open. But Ademola Lookman, would you like to see Ademola Lookman at Arsenal? 27 now, 27 years of age. Would it be a player that you think would make a good signing for Arsenal? Now, this next one came as a real shock when I heard about this yesterday, although for me, it makes sense. And I'm going to ask you guys at the end whether you think this makes sense, right? Kepa of Chelsea being considered by Arsenal. Now, Sky, they were the ones who went with this yesterday, reporting that Arsenal could make a surprise move for Kepa from Chelsea. Of course, he had a great season last year at Bournemouth. Kept 8 clean sheets, really, really played well, but has returned back to Chelsea now that loan spell has finished. Now, remember, at one time, he was the most expensive goalkeeper in the world when Chelsea paid 80 million euros for him. But the start of his Chelsea career was a real disaster. They've sent him out on various loans. He's been out on loan to, remember, he's at Real Madrid. But last year, his loan move at Bournemouth, he did really, really well. Now, we know that Arsenal wanted to bring in Joan Garcia of Espanyol as their sort of number 2 backup goalkeeper. But it looks like he's definitely on the way to Barcelona. So they're looking at other options. And they're looking at Kepa Arrizabalaga. I always get his name in. Kepa, I just let me just say Kepa. I'm not going to say his surname, right? Kepa. They're looking at Kepa. Now, this is the real important part. He could be available for as little as £5 million. His contract's up at the end of next season. Then he could walk away for free. Arsenal have, made inquiries, and that is said to be the fee. And Arsenal are interested. I'm going to put this one out to you. I want to do a poll on this one. Should we get Kepa as competition to David Raya? If you think we should sign him, I want you to say yes to Kepa. If you don't think we should sign him, put no to Kepa in the comments, right? We'll collate it and we'll run a poll on that. But yes, Kepa or no Kepa. I'd like to find out from you. £5 million for Kepa as competition to David Raya, Spanish player as well. 30 now, Kepa. So, he's getting up, but as far as goalkeepers concerned, that's still a decent age, experienced. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on Kepa. For me, I don't want to influence your decision, but for me, 5 million. And then you get to hold back some of that money and go and get that, a Rodrygo or something like that. But we have seen Kepa in the past make a lot of mistakes. Although, as I said, last year at Bournemouth, he was brilliant. I mean, when Arsenal played against Bournemouth, he pulled off a couple of really good saves. Transfer Daily wouldn't be complete without talking about Šeško and Viktor Gyökeres. I'll give you some updates on that. Sky Germany claiming that Arsenal are leading the race to sign Šeško. They're said to be the only club so far that have been in talks with RB Leipzig about the terms and conditions around signing him. That is according to Sky Germany. TalkSport reporting that Viktor Gyökeres is open to a move back to Manchester United, although Arsenal still lead the race in that one. But open to a move, well, I said back to, not back to, but, to link up back with Ruben Amorim, who was his manager, of course, at Sporting. So those are the two updates on the Šeško and Gyökeres situation. And finally, just before I go, good news for Arsenal. It looks like Gabriel has put pen to paper on a brand new contract at Arsenal, extending his contract, his current contract, which expires in 2027 till 2029. That is really good news. He was under threat. I heard in January that, clubs from Saudi were going to come in for him big style in the summer transfer window. There's also been rumours that, the Saudi clubs were looking to triple his wages, but he's decided to stay at Arsenal. He's a real fan favourite, a leader, and they're going to be a very, very important player for Arsenal next season. Let's hope he recovers fully from his injury. So that's Gabriel. Good news there. Thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget, of course, to let us know your comments around all the transfer rumours. And as I said, Kepa, yes or no? We'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, we've teamed up with UK Auto Claims to see if you could be eligible to score thousands in compensation. If you've had any cars, vans or motorbikes on finance between 2007 and 2021, go to ukautoclaims.co.uk to start your free simple check. Loads of you will have overpaid and payouts could be worth thousands, so you've got to look into it. Hit up the link below and check now for free.